entrepreneurs and things of that nature. But from what I know of you, I feel like your content is super, it's heavy. Like you have to be prepared. You got to come with your armor when you're going to sit down and listen to these interviews. So how did it go from entrepreneurs to talking about depression and, you know, childhood abuse and all of these intense conversations that we really need to have in our community that sometimes we shy away from?
I think within the Black community, it's such a taboo. I'm a PK, a preacher's kid, and growing up in church, you know, that generation of what goes on in this house stays in this house. It stays within the confines of our home. You know, you take it to the Lord in prayer, you shout over it, you pray fast, and you're good. But with even things I experienced in my personal life or my friends growing up in church dealt with some very detrimental things, some very harsh things. And it's like, you know, you're smiling, but inside you're broken. You're not healed. And I think I was listening to, I believe it was Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club, and he was like, as far as Black people, this is the first generation of Black people that have been allowed to heal and to explore healing and what that looks like. And now we have a generation of unchurched Black people coming up that really didn't grow up with the mothers like we did, and they don't know about the wearing white on first Sundays and things like that. And so, and they're seeing, I hate to say the hypocrisy of the church. Is like, how can you tell me just to come to God, but why do I still feel this hurt? What is this about? And then with my own personal journey, being in the military and experiencing things, and even though I still have my faith and I believe what I believe, but I was like, God, something is not clicking for me, and I don't like where Camille is at right now. So it really started with me exploring and pursuing my own healing, and still within the faith of spirituality, but then introducing therapy, because again, in the church, therapy is a taboo subject, you know, and it's always like, well, you got to go to your pastor. Well, first of all, most of the pastors are not trained mental health specialists. They don't know how to deal with certain things. Yes, you may be versed in the word, but are you really versed in the mind? And that's two totally different things, because you have the mind, but you have the soul. And so with that, it's like, okay, well, what does Camille need? What have I done? What have I gone through to pursue healing and to get to where I need? Because you can be creative, you can have all these gifts and talents, you can be anointed, but it doesn't mean anything if you're broken. And that's where it was like, okay, we need to rip the Band-Aid off within the pews and going from Sunday to Sunday, and you can shout and pay your tithes and still go home and try to kill yourself, you know? And you hear about pastors committing suicide. You hear about people in the church dealing with depression. There was an acquaintance, you know, Mark and I had in the Navy. He killed himself. And it's just different things like that. And it's like, well, pause, time out, wait a minute. What is really going on here? So that is when I, you know, I need a platform. It's cool we can promote brands and businesses, but we also need to promote healing, because as entrepreneurs and creators, a lot of us, we deal with things here and emotional, because that's our place of creativity. That's our place of anointing. And those places of anointings and where giftings are, that's where the enemy is going to attack you. So you have to take more time than others to guard that and to heal that, because that's where our provision, where our finance, where our resources come from. And if that's not whole and healed, then you're going to bleed on your brand. Because a lot of times when people on social media, they want to do like the highlight reels, and I have 10,000 followers, and, you know, and I bought the house and the first car and have the range. But what does that mean if you don't want to get out of the bed in the morning, open the blinds, and you won't wash your tail for 3 days? It means absolutely nothing. So we really have to explore these things and open it up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you can have a Mercedes and you can have God, but you need to have your therapist on speed dial as well. So that's kind of where we go through that, where I've had people on that have been sexually assaulted, dealing with abuse. I've had people like Antoine Aiken on. You know, he's a psychotherapist. We talk about Black men and mental health. We talk about racial profiling, people that have experienced things. And the fact that even though in your branding, I want people to see, like, yes, the destination is on Instagram, but what about the journey? And that's what my platform is. We share the journey. We drop the nuggets. We drop the jewels. We show people, hey, this is what I've been through. This is how I got through it. Maybe I'm not all the way, maybe I'm still in it, but let you know, hey, I'm not alone. So that's just kind of a little space of what I'm here to do.
I absolutely love that